morning to everyone. Welcome to our online lecture series. We will continue with our same chapter, that is immunity. So students, in our previous lectures, we discussed about the type of immune system, that is innate immune system and adaptive immune system. In the adaptive immune system, main two type is there, important two types is there, that is a cellular immunity and humoral immunity. Now, how the cellular immunity and humoral immunity fight against the microorganism and kill the microorganism that is enter inside the body. Okay, so till that we discuss about how properly our immune system work. Now in our today's sessions we will discuss one important topic, that is the hypersensitivity. Okay, we will discuss the important topic, that is hypersensitivity and its type. Now what is the hypersensitivity? Okay, as the name indicates, hyper, okay, means our immune system, okay, respond in hyper way, means when immune system, okay, is out of the control, otherwise is over responding to the any allergens, otherwise any antigens, okay, then it may produce the hypersensitivity, and that hypersensitivity, it may be harmful to the body. Okay, so we will discuss the hypersensitivity in our today's session. So what is hypersensitivity? Okay, if you want to define the hypersensitivity, so hypersensitivity is referred to undesirable reactions. Okay, it is not desirable. Okay, it is unwanted reactions. Okay, sometimes our immune response, okay, our immune system respond quickly, otherwise over responding by our immune systems, and that is not desirable, that is not beneficial for the body. Okay, sometimes it may be harmful to the body. So hypersensitivity referred to as undesirable reactions that produced by our normal immune system, including allergy is there and autoimmunity is there. Allergic reactions, sometimes some of the allergens is there. Okay, it's not a pathogenic in character. Okay, but our immune system responds to that allergen quickly, and sometimes this hypersensitivity occur up to very high extent, and death of the persons may also occur. Okay, so these reactions may be damaging, uncomfortable for the patient, and sometimes the it may lead to the death. Okay, so this hypersensitivity is uncontrolled response, otherwise we can say is that the over response of our immune system. Okay, if we talk about the classifications of the hypersensitivity, main four class is there. Okay, that is the type 1 hypersensitivity, that is the immediate atopic, otherwise the anaphylactic hypersensitivity. Second one is the type 2, it is called as the antibody mediated, otherwise antibody dependent hypersensitivity. Third one is the type 3, is called as a immune complex, means antigen antibody complex is responsible for producing this hypersensitivity. And fourth one is the cell mediated hypersensitivity, is also called as a delay type of the hypersensitivity. We will study this all the hypersensitivity one by one. So first one, that is type 1 hypersensitivity, is the immediate hypersensitivity, is also called as the anaphylactic hypersensitivity. Okay, now here, okay, if we talk about the which type of hypersensitivity may occur, so over the skin urticaria is there, eczema may occur. Okay, in eye conjunctivitis may occur. Okay, rhinitis is the bronchopulmonary tissue, okay, is undergo the hypersensitizations, and asthma may occur. Okay, sometimes the gastroenteritis may occur. Okay, so these are nothing but the example of, okay, hypersensitivity. When the hypersensitivities occur, this type of symptoms, this type of disease that we can observe, this type of reactions may occur. Okay, now here the reactions may cause a range of symptoms from minor inconvenience to death. Okay, sometimes, okay, in initial symptoms the minor inconvenience is there. Okay, means persons feel the discomfort. Okay, it may be discomfort in breathing, discomfort over the skin. Okay, and if it is too high elevated level, then it may lead to the death. Okay, reactions may occur after 15 to 30 minutes upon entry of antigens. Okay, upon exposure to the antigens, sometimes it may lead to the 10 to 12 hours, but generally it occur within the 30 minutes, and that's why it is called as a immediate hypersensitivity. When any allergens that enter inside the body. Okay, within 15 to 30 minutes this allergic reactions is produced, and if this allergic reaction is not controlled, is not subsidized properly, okay, otherwise our immune system is not capable to control it, so it may lead to the death of person. Okay, so generally this immediate hypersensitivity is mediated by IgE antibody. IgE, we already discussed that the IgE antibody is called as a skin sensitizing antibody. Is called as a skin sensitizing antibody. Okay, it is responsible for the allergic reaction. This IgE is responsible for the allergic reaction in response to the allergen. In response to the allergen, this IgE is going to produce. Okay, so this IgE is going to bind with the mast cell, is going to activate the mast cell to release some important mediators, okay, to induce the hypersensitivity reaction. So primary cellular component in this hypersensitivity reaction, that is the mast cell and basophils. Okay, so this mast cell and basophil, okay, is the primary component, and it is supported, otherwise is amplified by the platelet, neutrophils and eosinophils. So this all the component is responsible, otherwise it involved in the immediate hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, when the mast cell activated, okay, the degranulations of the mast cell is occur, and this mast cell degranulations will stimulate the release of histamine, stimulate the release of histamines. Okay, now here which type of allergens can activate the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions, otherwise is responsible to activate the mast cell to release the histamine. Okay, this allergen will produce the IgE, and this IgE activate the mast cell, and mast cell secrete the histamines. And if the release of histamine is uncontrolled, so that histamines may induce the death. Okay, if histamine in slight quantity, so ultimately it is beneficial for the body, but if the over release of these mediators, okay, it may cause the two vasodilations. If the vasodilations occur to the high extent, okay, so sudden quick what is this quick decrease in the blood pressure may occur. Okay, so BP low problem may be arise. Sometimes the constriction, bronchoconstrictions is induced by this histamine, and that's why the breathing problem may arise, and due to this breathing problem the death of person may occur. Which allergens is there? Okay, so if we talk about the example of the allergens, okay, sometimes foreign serum is there. Okay, we know that the RBC is not suitable, but sometimes serum is also responsible to produce the allergic reactions. Okay, if we collect the blood from any individuals, we separate the RBC and serum. Okay, that serum is provided just to make the blood volume. So sometimes this foreign serum also act as a allergen. Okay, some vaccines act as allergen. Pollen grains is there. Okay, raygrass is there, rewoods. Okay, if I talk about the drugs, the penicillin, sulfonamides. Okay, many individuals is sensitive to the penicillin, many individuals is sensitive to the sulfur drugs. Okay, all the sulfur drug may induce the allergic reactions over that persons. Okay, may some food component, for example nuts. Okay, I think so you are familiar with this example nuts. Okay, nuts is also capable to induce the allergic reaction. Some individuals is highly sensitive to the nuts. Okay, milk also. Okay, some of the child, okay, sensitive to the milk. Okay, and milk product. Okay, if we provide the milk or milk product to that child, okay, sometimes the sensitization reaction is occur, and whole skin is become a red. Okay, redness, that, okay, red skin rashes occur on the surface of the body. Okay, due to this allergens. Okay, some insects. Okay, that is nothing but the bee venoms is there. Okay, west venom is there, ant venoms is there. Okay, these all the venoms of these different insects is also act as an allergen, and it may induce the allergic reactions. Okay, sometimes, okay, we know that when the biting by the honeybee, okay, on that time swelling is occur, but that swelling is particular to that part only. Okay, if any honeybee bite to the any individuals, okay, swelling is occur to that particular part is only. But if the individual is highly sensitive to this bee venoms, so sometimes due to this biting the whole body, okay, is sensitized, and the skin rashes, okay, red skin rashes that occur throughout the body. Okay, this is nothing but the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, means that individuals is sensitive to that allergens. Okay, so this allergen is not parasitic in character. It is not capable to produce the disease, but this allergen is capable to activate our immune system and capable to produce the large quantity of IgE, and this IgE is responsible to activate the mast cell and produce a large quantity of histamine, and this histamine is responsible for this type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, so this is about the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Now how this hypersensitivity reaction is occur. Okay, so initially, okay, when any antigens, okay, that is nothing but the allergen, okay, that enter inside the body, on that time it will activate our immune systems and antibody is going to produce, this IgE is going to produce, and this IgE produced IgE is going to bind with the mast cell. First entry, upon the first entry of antigen, upon the first entry of antigens, okay, here the hypersensitivity reaction is not going to produce, IgE is produced, this IgE is going to bind with the mast cell, but first entry is not capable to degranulate the mast cell and not capable to produce a large quantity of histamine. But when the same allergen, same antigen reintroduced in the body, okay, means second time when it is entered inside the body, so whatever the IgE is there that is connected with the mast cell, this IgE is become activated and it will induce the degranulations of the mast cell and release a large quantity of histamines, lipid mediators and chemotactic factors, okay, different mediated that is secreted by the mast cell, and this mediators is responsible for the smooth muscles contractions, vasodilations, increase the vascular permeability and bronchoconstrictions and edema. If these reactions occur to the elevated level, it may induce to death. Okay, so this is about the hypersensitivity type 1 reactions. Okay, so in that hypersensitivity reactions, okay, it is too quick is that, okay, it is occur within 15 to 30 minutes if it is not treated well. Otherwise, if it is in uncontrolled way, then it may induce the death. Okay, so this is about the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. These are the mediators that is involved in the hypersensitivity reactions. Main mediators, that is the histamine, okay, remaining supporter mediators is there. Now this is the mast cell, okay, this one is the IgE antibody, and this one is the allergen that is connected. When the second time allergens come and connected with the IgE, it will activate the mast cell and it will induce the degranulations of mast cell and release the different cytokines, different mediators, okay, released from the mast cell. Now here, how we can diagnose whether the person is sensitized to this type 1 hypersensitivity or not. Okay, so it can be diagnosed by the pricking test, okay, skin pricking test, okay, means whatever the allergen is there, okay, that we will inject over the skin surface, okay, at the intradermal level, okay, if the redness is occurred to that particular part, we come to know this person is sensitive to this allergens. Okay, and second one, by measuring the quantity of IgE in body, okay, in blood, okay, the quantity of IgE, total IgE and specific IgE, that ratio that we can measure with the help of the ELISA test, okay, that is nothing but the enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. By this ELISA test we can measure this ratio, and from this ratio we come to know whether the large quantity of specific IgE is present in body or not, okay, that particular allergen. Okay, now how to treat this type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, so we can treat by a symptomatic relief, okay, means we can provide the anti-inflammatory drug, okay, it will reduce the inflammations, antihistaminic drug, okay, it will block the histamine receptors. Okay, some steroidal drugs is beneficial. Theophylline is the, epinephrine is the, phenylephrine, epinephrine, okay, these are suitable drug molecules, suitable anti-allergic drug, okay, to use to treat this type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. Sometimes if the person is highly sensitized, okay, sometimes the hyposensitized treatment is provided. Okay, in the hyposensitized treatment, okay, two concept is that one is the immune response to that particular antigens, there is particular allergen is reduced by decreasing the what it is decreasing the capability of immune system, and second one, it is generally not preferred, and second one, that is by providing the allergy salt. Allergy salt means what? Okay, this is most important and very interesting terminology, allergy salt. Okay, allergy salt means very small quantity of that allergen, very small quantity of that allergen is continuously injected in the body of the patient. Okay, it will produce the sensitized reactions, but quantity of allergen is too small, so allergic reactions produced is too small. Okay, continuously, regularly introduced, okay, at regular interval of time, and this process should be continuous for 3 to 5 years. When continuously allergens that enter inside the body, now body become habituated with that allergens. Now desensitization toward this allergen may occur. Okay, so by this way we can make the body, okay, comfortable to that allergens. Okay, so body will not activate the immune response and it will not produce any strong bounce back effect. Okay, so this is the main therapy, okay, that is called as the desensitization therapy, otherwise the hyposensitization therapy, and it is nothing but in form of allergy sort. Okay, so this is about the treatment of type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Now we will move to the next type, that is the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. Type 2 hypersensitivity reaction is also called as a cytotoxic hypersensitivity reactions. Is also called as a cytotoxic hypersensitivity reactions, and it may affect to the variety of organs or tissue. Okay, generally it is occurred by the endogenous antigen, means the antigens is not came from the outside. The endogenous antigens, okay, body component, body part may be act as a antigen, and sometimes some haptens. Okay, I already discussed this term hapten means itself is not act as antigen, but when it connect with the any carrier molecule, carrier protein, then that complex will be act as an antigen. Okay, penicillin is the example of the haptens. Okay, so this type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, okay, it may occur by the endogenous antigens, otherwise the exogenous haptens, okay, which can attach to the cell membrane, otherwise any carrier protein, and it may induce to the type 2 sensitivity reactions. Okay, hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, so if we talk about the examples, so drug induced hemolytic anemia is there. Okay, granulocytopenia is there, and thrombocytopenia is the example of this type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. And last, the penicillin allergy is also belong to this class. Okay, now here if we talk about the reactions time, so this type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, okay, is occur within minute to hours. Okay, the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions within occur within 15 to 30 minutes. Now while in case of this type 2, okay, it may occur from minute to hours. Okay, it may occur after 2 hours, after 3 hours, after 4 hours. Okay, so time is comparatively more than the type 1 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, and this hypersensitivity reaction is mainly occurred by the antibody, and main antibody involved, that is the IgG and IgM. Okay, mainly the IgG is responsible, and complement component is also involved, this IgG plus complement component. Okay, both is involved in producing this type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, whatever the lysine is there, means whatever the sensitized area is there, where the sensitivity is occur, where the skin races is occur. Okay, in that area, okay, if we take the samples, so antibody, complement component, and neutrophils, okay, these three component, okay, is present in large quantity, then it indicates that this is nothing but the type 2 hypersensitivity reaction. One important type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, that is the hemolytic disease of newborn baby. Okay, means in the fetus. Okay, sometimes, okay, if the RH factors of father and mother both is different. Suppose for example, if the father is RH positive and mother is RH negative. Okay, so when the first baby, okay, at the first pregnancy, the pregnancy first pregnancy is normal. Okay, means the baby born with the normal delivery, but when the second pregnancy occur, on that time, okay, during the first pregnancy, the RH positive baby is there. Okay, the RH positive, that is came from the father. Okay, so suppose the baby, okay, is the RH positive and mother is the RH negative. So at a first delivery, the antibody relative to this RH positive factors, antibody relative antibody, that is nothing but IgG antibody related to the RH positive is secrete, otherwise is distribute in the blood of mothers, is distributed in the blood of mothers at a first delivery. Okay, when mother plan to the second baby, okay, so at second pregnancy, the antibody is already present in the mother body. That antibody cross the placenta barrier, The antibody relative to the Rh positive, antibody relative to the Rh positive will cross the placenta barrier, and that antibody kill RBC of baby, okay, RBC of the fetus. Okay, so we can say is that baby kill its own RBC, and that's why the death of this fetus occur, okay, before a delivery. Okay, so this is the complications. Okay, how to treat these complications. Okay, so when, okay, we know that the persons, okay, means father and mother, okay, both husband wife, okay, that Rh factor is different. Okay, one is Rh positive and second one is Rh negative, and baby, first baby is Rh positive and mother is Rh negative. So before planning to the second pregnancy, we should provide the antibody. Anti-antibody means the antibody is neutralize the antibody for the Rh positive before planning to the second pregnancy and before delivery of the second pregnancy. Okay, if we continuously provide the treatment, okay, before the second pregnancy, then ultimately the antibody relative to the Rh positive is not capable to destroy the RBC of the baby, and the second pregnancy also be a normal. Okay, so this is nothing but the example of type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, if you want to diagnose, how to diagnose this type 2 hypersensitivity reactions, so simply by checking the presence of antibody and complement component in that lysine. Okay, the area where this sensitized reaction is occur, in that area we will take the samples and we will measure the quantity of antibody and complement component. If it is over the limit, okay, then we come to know here, sorry, it is nothing but the type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. And in the treatment, okay, we can provide the anti-inflammatory drug molecules, and sometimes immunosuppressive agent is also required. Okay, it is preferable to treat this type 2 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, now the next one is the type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, type 3 hypersensitivity reaction is also called as the antigen antibody immune complex mediated, antigen antibody immune complex mediated hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, here generally IgG is involved in this complex process. Okay, generally when any of the antigen, exogenous antigen is there or endogenous antigen is there, when any antigens that is entered inside the body, in response to that antigens our immune system is activated, will produce the antibody. This antibody is going to bind with the antigen, it will make the complex. Now this antibody carry the complex toward the phagocyte cell toward for the complete destructions of these antigens. But sometimes some immune complex, that is nothing but the antigen antibody complex is not cleared by our immune systems. Okay, is not cleared by the phagocytosis process and is remain soluble in the system, is remain soluble in the system, is remain circulated in the system. Okay, is not going to eliminate it, is remain circulated into the system. So that complex is not clear. When the complex is formed, that complex should be cleared by the phagocytosis process. But if that complex is not cleared and remain into the circulatory system for the long period of the time, so ultimately that complex will accumulate it will deposit to the particular part, it will deposit to the capillaries, otherwise it will deposit to the joints. Okay, and when it deposit to the particular part of the body, it may trigger the inflammation. This complex itself may trigger the inflammations. Okay, so here, so that's why this type 3 hypersensitivity reactions is called as the immune complex mediated hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, complex formations is a good thing, but that complex should be cleared in proper way. But if not eliminated, deposit in the capillary or joints and trigger the inflammations. Okay, so here if we talk about the general reactions regarding this type 3 hypersensitivity, so that is nothing but the serum sickness is there. Okay, sometimes the systematic lupus erythematosus is there. Okay, yes, joints. Okay, suppose if that complex is bind to, means is accumulated into the joints, it may induce the rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so many organs are where this complex is going to accumulate it, and it may induce the inflammation in that particular organs, and due to the continuous inflammations it may produce the lysines. Okay, in that particular organ system. So this is nothing but the type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, so it is occurred by the different type of the antigens. Okay, different pathogenic microorganism, okay, is responsible to induce this type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. That pathogenic microorganism that enter complex is formed, but this complex is not clear, then it may induce to the different type of hypersensitivity reactions in different organ system. Okay, if we talk about the time period, so these reactions may occur within 3 to 10 hours. Okay, it is mediated by the soluble immune complex, mainly IgG is involved, sometimes IgM is also involved in this type 3 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, antigens, okay, it may be exogenous, it may be endogenous. Okay, and these soluble antigens, okay, the antigen is soluble and is not attached to the organ involved, and ultimately is remain in the circulatory system and may induce the hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, diagnosis, how we can diagnose? Okay, so diagnosis is done by whatever the inflammatory area is there. Okay, we will take the tissue biopsy and we will measure the quantity of immunoglobulin and complement. We will measure the presence of immune complex in serum. So ultimately from this test, okay, we come to know here this is nothing but the type 3 hypersensitivity reaction. And if we talk about the treatment, so the common treatment is that is nothing but the anti-inflammatory agents. Now we move toward the final type, that is the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, type 4 hypersensitivity reactions is involved the sensitized T cell. Okay, it is also called as a delay type of hypersensitivity reaction, is also called as a cell mediated hypersensitivity reaction. Type 1, type 2, type 3 is the antibody mediated, means the antibody is involved in this hypersensitivity reactions, while in case of the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions, antibody is not involved, here the cell is involved, means the cytotoxic cell is involved in this hypersensitivity reaction. So that's why it is called as a delay type of hypersensitivity reactions and cell mediated hypersensitivity reactions. The reaction involve the sensitized T cell and release its lymphokines as a mediator and amplifiers. Okay, so it is mediated by the cells instead of the antibody. Okay, if we talk about the clinical stage, the contact dermatitis is the transplant rejection, is the granuloma is nothing but the example of type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. We know that sometimes, okay, if any organ transplantation is occur, so on that time the doctor prefer to provide the immunosuppressant agent. Why? Because our body is not ready to accept that foreign organ, even though that organ is beneficial for the body. Okay, if the kidney, new kidney that is entered inside the body, our body immune system will consider that new kidney as a foreign component and it will try to reject, and it will induce the type 4 hypersensitivity. And that's why that organ, new organ, rejected by the body, and the functioning of the new organ may be disturbed. Okay, so to make this new organ comfortable to the body, okay, the immunosuppression is provided by the doctor. Okay, so type 4 hypersensitivity reactions, okay, in which the helper T cells play the important role. Okay, when the helper T cells is activated in response to the any foreign organs, otherwise any foreign antigens, okay, it will release the cytokines, and these cytokines will activate the macrophages. And if the activations of the macrophages is up to very high level, then it may cause the inflammations and tissue damage. Okay, if the overactivations of the Th1 cells, it will release the more and more cytokines, and more cytokines will activate the macrophages, and it will cause the inflammations and tissue damage. And continuous activations of the macrophages may cause the chronic inflammations resulting in the tissue lysines, okay, scarring and granuloma formations. Okay, and it may dangerous, okay, if it is not treated well at initial stage, and response may occur after 48 to 72 hours. So that's why it is called as a delay type of the hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, these are the main three types of the delay type of the hypersensitivity reaction, that is the contact dermatitis, tuberculin and granuloma. Okay, so this is about the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, now how to diagnose? Okay, so diagnostic test mainly involve the Mantoux test, is the most common and most famous test for detecting the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, another that is nothing but the patch test is there, tuberculin test is there. It is used to identify the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, sometimes we measure the quantity of interleukin 2 in detecting the type for hypersensitivity reactions. Interleukin 2 is the cytokines that is secreted by the helper T cell, mean Th1 helper T cell. It will induce the cell mediated cell mediated immunity. So when this Th1 is activated, it will secrete the interleukin 2 for the activations of cytotoxic T cell. But if more and more interleukin 2 is secreted, more and more cytotoxic T cell is activated, and it will induce the what is this type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. And for the treatment of this type 4 hypersensitivity reactions, okay, we should provide the steroidal drugs, that is the corticosteroid is there, and sometimes the immunosuppressive agent is preferable. Okay, so this is about the type 4 hypersensitivity reactions. Okay, so main 4 type of hypersensitivity reaction is, the first one is the immediate, second one is the what it is antibody mediated, third one is the complex mediated, and fourth one is the cell mediated hypersensitivity reaction. Okay, so here we conclude our lecture. Okay, thank you very much. You can see this all the video on our YouTube channel, that is a Pharma Ignite. So please subscribe our YouTube channel to see all this video. Okay, thank you very much.